with every tech innovation, there's a lot of hype surrounding it, in blockchain especially. There's a lot of hype surrounding it. Pinkcoin is a cryptocurrency that was founded in May of 2014. Its use case, if I can sum it up to the shortest tagline possible, is a blockchain-based donation platform for social impact and social good causes. So it is a proof-of-work, proof-of-stake hybrid cryptocurrency in which we leverage our proof-of-stake consensus mechanism to allow users the ability to forward their staking rewards to charitable organizations we partner with, or they can keep it for themselves and have self-interest or share a little bit. And then beside that, we have what we call our Donate for Life platform, which are different pools, I think there's 11 of them right now, or 12 maybe, of Pinkcoin that are just sitting there that can never be spent, only one-way receiving addresses that people can donate to and contribute to, and those staking rewards that those pools generate are forwarded to partner organizations. So we kind of created our own technology to allow for donations and giving through cryptocurrency, which is kind of rare, especially in 2014 when everyone was all about self-interest and making the most amount of money possible. Just wanted to do something different. Well, because typically in charitable giving, you can make a donation one time or monthly. There's no transparency in that donation. You don't know where those funds are going, what causes they are contributing to. You have no idea how the organization is spending those resources, whether the funds are going to the cause they're saying in their entirety, a small percentage or large percentage. Like, I think on average, it's like 85% administrative costs for most organizations, so it's a really high overhead, and only 15% or less or thereabouts of the donation actually gets to the end cause. So the blockchain allows for complete transparency in the giving process, so you can see from start to finish where your funds are going. You can know with certainty that there's no, at least with Pinkcoin, no administrative fee being taken out with any donation. It just seemed like the perfect vehicle to help kind of bring that process, the giving process, to the new age and kind of disrupt an archaic, terrible a terrible giving model. Just seemed ripe for disruption. It's archaic, it hasn't changed in centuries, and the people that are doing it are not very keen to change. So we can kickstart that, we're all about it. So in May of 2014 we launched, there was a cryptocurrency called Blackcoin that had launched maybe 2 months before. That was a proof-of-stake coin. I think it was either the first or one of the first proof-of-stake coins, and it was very successful. So pink is the universal color of compassion, kind of associated with giving, with charity, with National Breast Cancer Foundation, with a lot of these things, and kind of wanted to piggyback on the success of Blackcoin and launch Pinkcoin. We thought it just made sense at the time. So it's kind of, in a nutshell, how it happened. With every tech innovation, there's a lot of hype surrounding it, in blockchain especially, there's a lot of hype surrounding it. So you had like the phase in 2014 and even still to now where like anonymous sending transactions are a big thing, and people, if you have anonymous sending, are more inclined to invest because it fits like this perceived technological advantage that people think is out there, and you're able to hype this this technology to make people interested. It's just another selling feature. And proof of stake was pretty new. It hadn't been really explored that in-depthly in terms of like actually experimented with in a mainnet, and proof of work was expensive, or still is. It's expensive. You require a lot of people to buy expensive hardware to then use its resources and pay electricity to contribute to your blockchain. So the barriers to entry to that, and to entice people to use that, to buy the machines, or if they already have them, use it on your blockchain, is pretty difficult if they don't have the financial incentive, and there's no way to make sure that it's the most profitable thing to mine out there. So if you don't have that securing your network and rewarding people in exchange for spending all this money, essentially, you're going to have a less secure blockchain. And because we couldn't guarantee those things, there was a lot of competition out there for proof of work coins, not much for proof of stake. We thought it would be an interesting way to experiment, use this new technological advancement in blockchain, and give people the opportunity to help secure our network and validate transactions while just holding coins in their wallet and staking. So kind of satisfied a number of things for us in that it incentivized people, helped us have security, distributing the coins, getting people interested in it. It's kind of the thought process behind it. Pinkcoin was distributed initially via a short proof of work window using the X11 algorithm. This was like, I think it's the second or third X11 algorithm coin out there. And then after all of the coins were distributed into the marketplace, proof of stake kicked in for 1% annual returns on whatever coins you held. We learned some extremely valuable lessons in the economics around how we designed the Pinkcoin blockchain. So because we were one of the first proof of stake coins, we learned that giving 1% interest, if that's like your only consensus mechanism, is not enough incentive to allow people to want, or give people the incentive to make them want to hold coins in their wallet and contribute to the security of the network. And so after 2.5 years of the Pinkcoin blockchain going continuously proof of stake exclusively, we foresaw that there just wasn't enough support in the network. And because we had 1 minute block times, 30-second block times, which led to quick transactions and a speed advantage, there was a lot of bloat on the Pinkcoin blockchain. There was a lot of what we call orphan transactions, where two people will see the block and compete to solve it first, and one person gets it while the other person doesn't get it, and their transaction becomes orphaned. Well, that transaction stays in the blockchain, and after 2.5 years, roughly 1/3 of the entire blockchain was orphan transactions because of the quick block times. So foreseeing that there was all these kind of bloating issues, it would take 2 weeks to download the entire blockchain if you wanted to start staking after 2.5 years, because it had gotten so large. I think it was like 45 or 50 gigabytes, unless you had a bootstrap, which reduced the time. But we decided we needed to do something to ensure the future of the Pinkcoin blockchain, and to ensure that people that were holding and supporting our network had an opportunity to continue doing so in a way that wasn't just a duct taped together tragedy. So we decided to create a brand new blockchain, do a 1-to-1 coin swap, and use the lessons we had learned in that first iteration of our blockchain to improve and ensure our network safety and security over the indefinite future, and plan for success over long term. So what we did was created this new blockchain that was a proof of work, proof of stake hybrid on the script algorithm. We added a second proof of stake consensus mechanism that we call flash proof of stake, which would allow throughput of more transactions during peak times throughout the day globally. And we gamified the proof of stake rewards rather than just having a fixed 1% interest rate for whatever you held. It was fixed reward blocks, kind of like proof of work blocks are. So instead of 1%, there's 100 block rewards or 150 coin block rewards, and everybody who's staking has access to those rewards. You don't have, the more coins you have doesn't necessarily matter. You don't have greater access to that reward. So kind of makes it more fair, but also gamifies it in that because we have this flash proof of stake, which is 150 coin reward block for 4 different 1-hour periods throughout the day on 1 minute block times, whereas the regular proof of stake is 6-minute block times, 100 coin rewards. We made it so that people could do some game theory and figure out if it made more sense for them financially to turn their machines off and only stake during the peak times, or run it all day, 24 hours a day, and kind of get use their network weight to stake the lesser reward blocks that are more spaced out, while also giving the users who are trying to get transactions through a vehicle to make sure that they're through in a timely manner, because the block times then average down to a minute and a half, 90 seconds. So we have the 50 coin reward blocks every 2 minutes on proof of work, 100 coin reward blocks every 6 minutes for 20 hours a day, and then 150 coin reward blocks every 1 minute for 4 hours of the day. So that ensures that we have ample support to make sure that people are securing the network by contributing their either mining or computing power to verify transactions and secure our network, and make sure that there's a lot of stakers, not just reserved for the 1%, because it doesn't matter how many coins you have, everyone has the same access to getting these rewards. So we have a lot of people contributing to staking that have a theoretically small amount that are helping us out. And then we've, in our Donate for Life platform, additionally rewarded smaller users by having 3 of our pools contribute back to staking stakers to give them additional incentive to help support our network with the Acorn, Elder Tree, and Raincloud. So in addition to our Donate for Life pool partners, we've had what we call flash campaigns, where there will be some major event in the world that we decided we wanted to support. So we've had a number of these, like we had a flash campaign for Hurricane Harvey, where we allowed people to donate any cryptocurrency that is on Bittrex, and we would convert that into US dollars for them and send it to the cause. So we raised $6,000 for that. And then we had Hurricane Irma, which Hurricane Harvey was 12-hour process where we're like, all right, this is what we need to do. It's happening right now. It's immediate. Let's just get something up and donate to this. So we donated to the Houston SPCA over like a 72-hour period. And then Hurricane Irma was right on its back, and we had a little more time to plan for it. And we got some friends of ours to give away some gifts for donating to the cause, and we were able to have Bittrex.com, one of the leading cryptocurrency exchanges, act as escrow to ensure that people were comfortable and confident that we weren't just going to take their money. And that campaign generated $30,000 in donations, which Bittrex then matched for $60,000 worth of fundraising that we donated $20,000 each to Center for Disaster Philanthropy, Direct Relief, and Habitat for Humanity. And then at the end of last year, we did a last-minute flash campaign over 55 hours to one of our advisors is this guy, Colin LaHaye, Colin Crypto on Twitter. He's a big social media influencer, one of the thought leaders in the space. He had an organization that he worked with that he liked a lot called Solar Kits for Change, and he wanted to donate $10,000 to them directly, but he asked if we would help work with them to see if we could help raise a little more, and then he would match whatever we raised up to $10,000. So we did a 55-hour flash campaign and ended up raising an additional $10,000 for that. So in total, it was a $20,000 donation. They empower small business owners in Africa to not mostly, but some of them are like hairdressers and barbers with solar panels to help them power their like clippers and stuff in African towns and villages where there isn't access to electricity. So it kind of empowers small business owners who wouldn't otherwise have access to electricity, that ability through these solar kits that they send out. So those are 3 different organizations, or 3 different campaigns we've run with different organizations that have been the recipients of donors. We have some interesting partners that we work with, one of which is an organization out of Toronto, Canada called Cardiac Kids. and they work with the Sick Kids Hospital in Toronto to help kids that were born with congenital heart disease with the funds for their open heart surgeries that they have to have throughout their life to help manage their affliction, their disease. Is it an ailment? Is it a debilitation? What? All of the above. Yeah. So we've been working with them for a little over a year, and they are the recipient of our charity pool. We have an organization out of Switzerland called Zwishram Thagaru that is a Montessori school that educates their students on blockchain using Pinkcoin as their example. We've been working with them for about 8 months. We have a bunch of organizations we work with in a similar capacity that are just the recipients of our Donate for Life pool, different verticals of our Donate for Life pool, and one we're announcing next week. It's actually done, but we just haven't announced it yet. Just kind of working out the finer details, helping them make sure they're able to stake and all that stuff. As Digital Citizens Fund, it's this woman, Roya Mahboob, who was in 2013 named Time Magazine's 100 most influential people. She was the first and youngest female CEO, an Afghani female CEO. Her organization empowers women through teaching them how to code. Empowers Afghani women through teaching them how to code. So that's another organization we work with. Got a bunch of them, mostly just smaller organizations that actually use the funding and would help them in getting more donations to their organization through marketing by saying they're a partner with a blockchain organization and are on the cutting edge of technology. Don't really want to go after the big guys, you know. Red Cross wouldn't really do much with a partnership with us. So we're trying to start small, grassroots, work with organizations that could really benefit. I think we're just scratching the surface as to what blockchain can do and what percentage of the population really knows about it, and then even reduced what tiny percentage of the population has actually transacted with it and experienced it firsthand. So I think as we get more and more people interested in blockchain and Bitcoin and have used it, we're going to start getting more and more talent that's going to help accelerate just what Bitcoin and crypto can do, help us accelerate discovery in that regard. So I think the future is so bright for blockchain and crypto. I don't really know that I can articulate just what my thoughts are. I think there's a small use case that we've discovered, which is obviously the store value, transaction speed, borderless remittance, all this stuff that we've discovered. And then we've discovered the ICO fundraising use case, which are a couple of interesting ones, but we're not even close to the real impactful use cases that could change the world. We're not close to getting our medical records on the blockchain and being able to have interoperability between different organizations to share data that could really help bridge that informational gap that companies and individuals and governments and organizations can really benefit from. I think that's kind of where we're going, and the more people that we spread this incredible knowledge of what blockchain is and what it's capable of and inspire them to enter this space in a way that's not intimidating to them, because I think a lot of people when they first enter, before they actually jump in and transact with it and buy some Bitcoin or receive some Bitcoin, really are intimidated by the perceived technological barriers to entry and the jargon that's used and all this stuff, so they don't actually get in. But if we can help alleviate some of that perceived barriers to entry and get this next generation of crypto enthusiasts in the door and help them kind of realize their potential and realize this great industry, this burgeoning industry that we're all part of, and the benefits that it could have to not just them personally, financially, but the greater world through stuff like what blockchain WTF is doing. I think, man, the sky's the limit in what we can do and what blockchain is capable of. So I don't think I can narrow it down to just like a couple of talking points as to this is what it's going to be. We're going to be printing money on the blockchain and everyone's going to be rich. Like, no, I really don't know what it's capable of. I just know that it's capable of so much more than what we've discovered it to be so far.